tranquilizer pistol, or CQC to put him down gently.
Snake! Talk to me! Snake! Cover me. Fire at will. Stand down! Don't move.
There he is, the commander. Extract him.
Hands up. Where are your friends?
Okay, that's the General's brother, his number 2. Get him out of there, boss.
Speak. Where are your friends?
That's the target. That's the target prisoner. He's injured. Looks half-starved, too. There's no way he can stand the shock of a Fulton extraction. Get him out by chopper.
General ya Bakala Ilumbu Mosi Tata ya Bankaka na Mono Telaka Mono Mambu General Salaka Bantu ya Buta ya Mbele Etikaka Mosi Beto Nyoso Tukampani Atampidina ya Ikentango ya Kubutuka Dieka Nimave Menga Ekio
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is P-Quad. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by. That's the way. Mission complete. Great work. Boss, about how we report this one to the client. I'll tell them we took heavy... Boss, we have an emergency. Many of our staff are falling ill. At first it seemed like a common cold, but before we knew it, blisters started popping up on their chests and... Damn it. I'll fill you in at the ACC. Just get in the chopper. Look closely.
Those are the symptoms of the infection on Mother Base. The blisters on the body were full of tiny worms. Parasite larvae, most likely. But we couldn't find any adults. It doesn't seem to mature in the body, like a spargatum. We don't know the root of infection, or what causes symptoms to develop.
Boss, do you remember seeing these symptoms before? The bodies floating around in the oil facility, the bedridden test subjects at the Devil's House. This epidemic looks just like what we've seen on our hunt for Cypher.
So this is the weapon of mass destruction Cypher was working on in Africa.
Boss, the situation is urgent. We need to quarantine the infected and contain the pathogen. Priority now is to prevent more casualties. But the problem is, how do we tell who's infected? During the incubation period, we have no way of knowing who's clean. You'll have to try and guess who's infected before they go symptomatic and quarantine them. That'd be easy if we just knew the route or vector of the infection. From now on, if you even suspect a staff member's infected, use your iDroid to order them into quarantine. Given the situation, the men won't submit to quarantine just because I or the medical team tell them to. But they will listen to you. Of course, it's just a temporary measure until we find a permanent solution. But at least they'd be in solitary isolation so they won't infect each other, and we get the mental care they need. If we do nothing, we'll only lose more people. We have no choice. Boss, open your iDroid. I'll explain how to quarantine staff members suspected of infection. Go to the Mother Base menu and select Staff Management. First, take a look at the quarantine facility we've set up. We'll isolate anyone who's already symptomatic at the quarantine facility. But we have to expect that there are multiple staff who are infected, but asymptomatic. So how do we identify them? At present, we have no way to tell them apart. But there has to be something for us to go on. If you notice anything, reassign staff you suspect are infected to the quarantine facility. We'll monitor them and then contact you if there's a change in their condition. Correctly quarantining these asymptomatic infected will reduce the number of new infections. You should continue with your missions as usual. If Cypher is behind this, going after them should help us determine the root cause of this epidemic. Also, until we identify the pathogen, we can't fire or dispatch any staff. We cannot let this thing spread. Boss, get to the bottom of this fast. We're counting on you. The staff you specified. Did you figure out what's causing the infection? A new job's come in. It's a hit. On the human trafficker who sent Shivani and the others to Nzoya Badia Bulu, where you ran into Skullface. The thing is,
This guy might know something about the disease that's going around Mother Base. The symptoms are similar to the ones we saw at that factory. Start by checking the mission details on your iDroid.
He's one of the very few soldiers who've had contact with her recently. Close contact. I don't think it's a coincidence that he was among those who became symptomatic pretty early on in this epidemic. Saliva and blood spatter, an open wound, mucosal infection. Whatever is causing this got inside him then.
Miller, that is a baseless accusation.
The source of the infection is quiet. Everyone suspects her.
We don't know that. And we've come across these symptoms before. The bodies in the water at the oil-filled facility. Those sick people in the beds at the Devil's House. They're identical to what we've seen while we've been after Cypher. The infection could have come from elsewhere. But at the very least, she does know something.
It's not like she's gonna talk.
No, not through words anyway. But what about her actions? Quiet held a knife to that soldier back then, before he became symptomatic. There must have been a reason for that.
A reason for shoving a knife down the throat of one of our men.
What if she's capable of identifying who's infected? What if she was trying to stop the infection but couldn't communicate that to us? The answer to that, the source of the infection, might be in the mouths of the infected.
You think there's some kind of clue in their mouths?
I don't know. But maybe there's something about the mouths of those who become symptomatic, something in common.
Something their mouths have in common. Forget it. We can't trust her. Even if she can spot the infected, I don't want her help.
I understand how you feel. But this is something to go on.
Can't you see it's just like I said? Bringing her here was a big mistake. Quiet is gonna be the end of us.
Stand down. You've got zero proof. Try to keep an open mind on this, boss. There has to be a way to identify who's infected.
Boss, the target is a PF logistics officer who works as a human trafficker on the side. The client wants him dead. He's currently on the run somewhere on the savannah with bodyguards. Unfortunately, we don't know what route they're taking. All we have to go on is a coded transmission sent by the PF at the Ditati abandoned village. It appears to be a workup of the target's security plans, but to decipher it, we'll need an intel file with the encryption key. This key should be at the comms facility at the Ditati abandoned village. Check your iDroid to see what the target looks like, as well as the location of the village. Find a route. Find the man. abandoned village. That's where the enemy PF's coded transmission came from. There's got to be a transmitter there somewhere. It could have the intel file containing the encryption key. Look for an antenna.
Where are your friends? Speak. Where are your friends?
A prisoner. He might have some information. If you extract him, we'll see what he knows.
Spit it out. Where are your friends? Begin cover fire. Cease cover fire! Begin cover fire. Spit it out.
He's coming too. Roger that. Was a civilian abducted by the target. He says the trafficker is trying to make contact with a human rights NGO. He hopes that by handing over his list of buyers, they'll guarantee his safety. I don't get it. Why an NGO? Why run to someone else for help? Okay, subject is in. Subject is in. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Information, the target is headed for Gaziba camp. We also have his movement route. I've updated your map. Use the target's route to locate him. Eliminating him will be much harder if he makes it to the gazebo camp. Take him down on the savannah.
That's the target's movement route. Let the hunt begin.
Where are your friends? Talk. Where are the others?
Don't move.
Extract him. He's coming too. Roger that. Extract him.
Boss, get down. The enemy sniper. Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
Don't move.
Assembly.
Speak.
What are you doing?
Where are your friends?
He's coming too. Roger that. That's Gazeba camp. The target's headed there. Eliminating him will be much harder if he makes it to the Gazeba camp. Take him down on the savannah.
Speak. Where are the others?
Boss, the target's made it to his destination. He's inside an enemy outpost. That leaves us no choice but to eliminate him in the outpost. And it won't be easy. That's Gazeba camp. You'll find the targets there. The security forces must know something about the targets. Why not try getting them to talk?
Is you okay? Oxycontrol. Butter!
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Ik wil niet, prik niet.
Speak. Where are your friends?
Target confirmed dead. Your objective's complete. Or on land. Don't hang around.
Bakalan! Buddy!
Hey, quit kidding around. Snake?
Picked up an intel file. According to this information, the target is headed for Gaziba camp. We also have his movement route. I've updated your map. Use the target's route to locate him. Eliminating him will be much harder if he makes it to the Gaziba camp. Take him down on the savannah.